Okay, so we're going to start with our next phase of restoration here in modification. So we've got the Jeep back. We had to fix one oil leak on the engine. The front seal was leaking, so we took it to a shop for that and let them do that, and that was not a big deal. So anyway, let's take a look at some of the repairs that we've made up to this point. All right, so looking at the motor here, this clutch master cylinder was bad. It had been leaking, looked like it had been leaking for a while. The clutch was real soft and real spongy, so we went ahead and replaced that, and that sure made changing gears a lot easier. Okay, so that was one repair that we had to make just so we could get it around. Okay, now a couple of other issues we had. We changed temperature sensor here and thermostat, and then we changed the temperature sensor back here at the back end of the motor. Also, we were getting an check engine light, and the code showed that it was for the temperature sensor, and also the gauge was immediately going to all the way over into the red. So that fixed that, and it's running cool. We got a 165-degree temperature thermostat in there, and it's running well now. So those repairs we made right off the get-go, just so we could get the vehicle around. Now what we're going to do here next is we're going to just pull this front bumper. Okay, now I know that wasn't in the plans, but we're going to pull this front bumper and go ahead and get that out of the way just to have better access to below, and then at that point we'll be able to start doing our suspension work, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. So the plan is basically we're going to break this vehicle down into thirds. We're going to work the first front third of it, which is the front axle, all of the tie rod and steering component ends, bearings, brakes. We're going to get all of that done and completely basically rebuild our steering and suspension. Okay, the next is going to be here in the center. We're going to drop the transmission skid plate cover, and we think we might have a broken transmission mount in there, so we're going to take a look at that. There's another leak coming from in there somewhere. I'm going to diagnose that and get that fixed, and removing all the peripheral rust as we go. Okay, and then here on the last phase of the undercarriage will be phase 3, is going to be the rear axle. We're going to rebuild the brakes, the parking brakes. Of course, we're going to change fluids as we go. Suspension components on the rear, bushings, whatever needs to be replaced, and knock off that peripheral rust. I did find one spot where the rust has actually gotten through the frame, and that's the only bad spot I've been able to find so far. So we may rebuild that little piece of the frame right there. So that's how it's going to go, and then we'll do some interior work along the way. The engine seems to be fine. Okay, like I said, it's only got 400 miles on it after the install, and a couple little minor things that we've already addressed. So anyway, let's delve into this and see what we can come up with. All right, so we got it up on jack stands. One of our urgent repairs that we initially did was front end brakes. The calipers were frozen just from sitting up for so long, so we replaced the calipers, the rotors and brake shoes, and bled it out. Works fine, so we're going to get those off so we can start getting some of these steering components. Okay, so we got those off on both sides. Now let's get those bearings off. All right, so we're getting a little support here today from Mr. Jacob Brackens.
What up?
Our instructors here at Weapons Academy. What you working on there, Jacob?
Look at this cotter pin.
Ancient cotter pins.
This thing is in there.
They're rusted in there pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Well, so we got all the steering components out except for the ball joints, and as soon as we get these ancient cotter pins out of there, we should be able to get the ball joints out, and then it's going to be just a matter of cleaning up and reassembling with the new parts. We'll be back. All right, so all steering components are out. We are pressing in ball joints, and as you can see, we've got the tie rod out, drag link is out, and bumper is now off, and we're going to start cleaning up, do a little bit of derusting, make room for the new components. We'll be back. All right, so Jacob came out and helped us out today with the wrench turning project. Jacob's an avid outdoorsman himself, and he's got Ford F150 that he's tricked up. Let's take a look at it, Jacob. What do you got here?
I got a 2011 Ford F150, the FX4 version.
Okay.
So change out the, I got in an accident, and so it gave me an opportunity to change out the front end, get a new bumper, get a new grill here. This is going to be a project that's going to be happening further down the line.
You got to get that thing winched up.
Yeah, so I'm going to end up changing the bumper out. This is extending the truck a little bit, so when I hit a deep incline, it's scraping, and so it sticks out quite a bit. Doesn't fit in my garage like I wanted to, but it looks nice. It looks nice. It holds the light bar. It's got a few LEDs,
some LEDs down in there.
Yep.
Now this thing's set up for a winch. We just need to get it in there, right?
Yep.
Got the mounting apparatus and so forth. So
That's good, man.
What you got on the back end down here?
So I got an RCI 12-inch rack on the 3-inch tonneau risers here.
Okay.
I was actually really surprised with this rack. It's a bolt. It's not a bolt-in, so it's a C-clamps.
Okay.
To the bed, and then I've got a Century CT rollback cover. It's a hard top cover, which gives me it covers up the bed pretty nice, especially during the snow and rain. It gives it a little bit of weatheroofing.
Keeps
the
dust
stuff dry.
off.
Yep.
That's important.
And on top of it,
Storage capacity.
Yeah. So it's nice, and then it rolls right on up.
Oh, that's definitely handy.
Yeah. And then I've just got some cheapo back cubes here to give me some backlight.
Right on the campsite there, and
the Overland vehicle systems.
and you've got a 3-person tent, right?
Yes, a Nomadic 3. Flips right open. It's got the 3-inch pad up there. I love it, but most importantly, my wife loves it because she doesn't like being outside.
When we install in the lift.
So what I'm going to actually do is probably go ahead and get some front coilovers. They got some Fox suspension, so I got to redo that. That's probably going to be next on the list of things to do. But there's some smaller recovery stuff that I can go ahead and pick up and get squared away. So
all right, we'll have to bring it back here to the Weapons Academy cheap garage and get some of them projects done.
Brother. Yeah.
All right, Jacob, brother, we appreciate you coming out and helping us crank those wrenches today.
Hey, anytime, man.
Saved my back a little pain there anyway, so we got a lot done.
Yeah.
All right.
My pleasure, brother.
Yeah, we'll catch you on the next one.
All right, man.
Yep. All right, so we're air drying it now. We just gave it one heck of a clean up and degrease. Hit all the a lot of the peripheral rust with wire brushes. No serious rust though, just all peripheral rust. So next step is going to be to start spraying some rust inhibitor on it, black in color, and that should dress it up quite a bit. So we're going to let it dry here for just a bit and get to work on that. Alright, super pleased with how that came out. That shock on there. It's not a new shock, we just repainted it. And we got the frame and all the components down there repainted. Rust knocked off. So the front 1/3 is ready to reassemble. And look from underneath. We're still air drying. New bumper shaping up. Got the steering components back on. Jason's working his magic. Steering knuckle back in place. Tie rod back in place. Alright, so driver's side is done for now. Shocks in. We've got the brake drum, caliper, ball joints, bearings. It's all new. Cleaned up and all the rust knocked off and painted. Bumper's still in the works. It's looking good. We're going to call it a day. We'll be back.
Let my wife
see that video with him talking about it. Devil in it, you know, remote. All right, she's back together and running. So with the exception of a couple of minor details, phase 1 of the undercarriage restoration is complete. Time for a test drive. Alright, so we're going to take the old Super YJ out for a little test drive here after just hopefully wrapping up our restoration phase 1, which is the front 1/3 of the undercarriage. We're real pleased with how it came out. Really didn't run into any big snafus or anything, so we're going to take her out, see how it does on the road. We'll be back. Okay, so the test drive was a success. It appears that we kept our alignment. We won't know for sure till we get that out on the highway, but for right now, we didn't hear any unnecessary noises, vibration, or anything of that nature. Climbed a couple hills out here at Weapons Academy, no problem. So for right now, phase 1 is complete, and hopefully tomorrow we can start on phase 2, which is going to be the middle section. We're going to drop that skid plate and see what we can find underneath and fix it